Hi, everybody. Susan Gerbic there or here, wherever I am. And I am done with my yard work today, and we have a week of rain. So I know you're not here for the weather report. What I am here to do is try again. This will be my, I don't know how many tries to get this video right, but I'm doing something different. And I recorded it last night and I was just very tired and I looked no, I don't think it came off right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try again. Let's hope this is the winning video. And I really need your feedback if you like this, because it's a different idea than I've done in the past. So what I have done is I have taken the two 90-minute readings that Matt Fraser had done, and I have chopped them down. So there's probably 16, something like that, opening lines. That's what I'm calling this. Okay, so let me explain this. And I hope I'm not over explaining it. And I hope you get this. So please let me know. When somebody is cold reading, like Matt Fraser does, what happens is he approaches whoever it is he's going to be giving a reading to. And if it's somebody who's self-selected for him, which is what's happening in these gallery readings, then they pop up on the screen and he interacts with them for maybe a minute and says hi to them, welcomes them. He's quite charming. And then he asks where they're from. And then he starts right in with an opening line. So he has to sum up whoever is in front of him very quickly. And he's done, thousands of readings, so it's not that hard for him to do. But after watching so many of his readings over and over and over and getting, attending readings and so on, I feel like I really have this down. I kind of understand where he's going with this. And I think that maybe by clipping these videos like I have, it should make it even easier for you to understand. Okay, as I said, cold readers have to sum you up right away. They're looking at you for the very first time. Like you guys have been looking at me for however long you're looking at me. And if this is your first time watching my video, you're going to make a lot of assumptions about who I am based on what I look like and sound like and what you see in the background. That's cold reading. And humans, we do this all the time. But what he's got to do is come up with an opening line. He's going to be with these people, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to give them a reading. And he is going to lead them in a way where he can do a cold read that is specific enough to them to keep them happy about the reading, yet broad enough that he's hitting most targets that would affect almost everybody. And he never has to be specific. Okay. So when Matt is doing these opening lines, I have noticed that they tend to be a certain that he's aiming it towards the person's age. Okay. So I've clipped all these videos and they're just the opening lines. This is before the sitter has a chance to give them feedback of what it is that they want to hear from or more about them. I mean, he's only got like a minute with the beginning stuff with like, where are you from? So good to see you here. Is this your first reading with me? He can, after that, it's the opening line. And then from there, he can see if they're going to work with him. And then he can lead them along on, he can lead them along with a reading and they get a chance to kind of go, oh yeah, that must be my so-and-so or my brother or my blah, blah, blah. And then they fulfill that task because they're motivated sitters. They want the reading so bad that they're willing to take whatever he gives them and turn it into something that fits their situation. For example, if he says, I'm getting a dog, okay, almost everybody has had a dog or knows a dog or had a neighbor with a dog or saw a dog or drew a dog or has a dog tattoo. Okay. So that fits everybody. But if he tries to narrow it down a little bit more with, I'm seeing a German Shepherd. Okay. So the motivated sitter who does not have a German Shepherd in their life will still accept that and not admit that that's not true. And they will make an excuse for Matt, and they will say to themselves, well, it wasn't really a German Shepherd, but it was a larger dog. In their mind, they're thinking that because they want the reading to connect, because they know if they say no or give him too much pushback, which they never do, then he's going to leave the reading and move on. Okay. All right. We're going to look at a bunch of opening remarks. This is only like 5 minutes long, but I'm going to break it up by talking to you. And we're going to talk about each one. Hopefully I can remember what each one is. So I've put an age underneath the video of them, of what I think they are, because I'm showing you a blurred vision, because I got these are not public videos. These are not, if they're public, I wouldn't hide people's faces, but I've blurred it, and so that I can release them. And I have an unblurred version. And when Matt was giving the reading, they were totally unblurred, as clear as you can see me right now. So I put an approximate age of all the people that are on the screen. It'll make sense in a minute. And I'm just guessing, right? So what I have noticed, and let's see if this is something that you guys agree with, that when they're under 30, or, maybe 33, 35, something like that, when they're under 30, the people that are going to appear on the screen in front of Matt are most likely to have living parents. They might even have living grandparents. Okay. So if you're 30, it's likely you have living grandparents. But so Matt is unlikely to go to a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old and say, your parents, I have your mom here. He's unlikely to say that. He's not hot reading. This is cold, totally cold. Because if he says to a 20-year-old, I think your mom has died, she's passed over, he's going to get a no, most likely, right? You guys agree with me, right? Okay. You're following me so far, I hope. Haven't really explained it this way before, except in the videos I keep making and then deleting because I just not happy with how I'm explaining it. A person in their 20s, 30s, they're more likely to have a grandparent who's passed over. And even still, that's kind of iffy. But one human being has 4 grandparents. So your odds of one of them not being alive anymore are better, right? So if a person appears in front of him who's 20 years old, he's probably going to go with grandparent and not parent. But there's another choice, and Matt does this a lot. He says, a mystery. I am getting a person who, and then, or this person is stepping forward, a lot of times with no gender, and passed in a tragic way, or took their own life, or there was some mystery about their passing, or something that's going to be very generic and very wide open. He's going to say that for people whose ages are under 30. So again, so let's repeat this. If you're under 30 years old and you're cold reading them, you're probably not going to have a parent who's died. And besides, you only have 2 parents, right? Let's not talk about possible parents and step parents. And no, I'm just talking about parents. And you'll have 4 grandparents. If you want to go with a grandmother, then you have 2 of those. If you want to go with a grandfather, you have 2 of those. And so a mystery is usually more likely to come. He's more likely to go to a mystery. Now, when we go into the people who are more likely 40s, 50s, then their parent is probably still alive also, but their grandparents are less likely to be alive. So if you have a 50-year-old woman in front of you, it's more, you're going to have at least some of your grandparents who are no longer here. Okay, so if he sees a person appears in front of him who's in the 40s and 50s, he might do a mystery, He probably won't do a parent, maybe, but he's more likely to go with a grandparent's. So it's kind of iffy when you're in that 40, 50-year-old. Now, if the person who pops in front of them is somebody in their 60s or 70s, like myself, my parent is probably not here, right? It's a good guess. You're playing the odds. I'm 63. So he's not going to go with a grandparent. He's going to go with a parent and not necessarily a mystery. This is just what I've noticed with him. Of course, there's exceptions to all of this. He could go any way he wants, but this is what I want to prove to you today by showing you this video, right? Also, if there's more than one person on the screen, if there's two people getting a reading or three people or four people, his odds are way higher that if he says a grandparent and he's not talking to one specific person, you right there with the glasses on. No, if he's talking to one specific person, that's different, but he never does that. He says, well, rarely does that. He says, your grandparent has passed away, right? Or your parent has passed away. And now he has more chances because one of those people is going to say, oh, yeah, that's mine. Unless, of course, it's siblings and that gets a little complicated because they all have the same parents, hopefully. Well, probably have the same parents. But if you've got a married couple or a couple, he's got his own set of grandparents and parents. She's got her own set of parents and grandparents. So it's less likely that, his odds are higher. All right. You guys hanging in there. Okay. I can do this. I swear I can. I'm telling you, you better give me a lot of feedback because if you like this kind of video and it made sense to you, I'm going to try it with more. I'm going to just keep collecting these things that Matt Fraser has done and just make it even bigger a video and maybe an article because I think it's fascinating, right? I'm going to stop and talk about each one and move ourselves through. Or starting with the younger people, so under 30. Now remember, I could see who these people were when I saw them. Oops. I could see them when I did the readings and when I put together the video. So I'm guessing now. Matt has done thousands of readings, so he might be better at guessing ages than I am. I'm going to leave the little thing down here because I need to be able to stop and start really quick. Now, remember, I am not a video editor, so this is not like great science and you're going to see all this amazing stuff. It's just me, Susan Kerbick. My cats don't even help me. I don't get any help from them at all. Okay, so they're blurry. She's blurry. And Matt is there and he's going to give her a reading. It's only going to be like 10, 30 seconds. I'm guessing she's about 33. That's my guess. Her husband does come into the video very quickly. And so he's probably 35 or 36. But for the moment, it's just her. Here we go.
Right away, there's a soul that's stepping forward, and I keep hearing about them being responsible for their passing here in the physical world.
Okay, so this is one of those people that's a mystery. I'm going to call this the mystery category. A person who's responsible for their own passing. He doesn't even give a gender. He doesn't give an age. He's decided she's in her early 30s. She's getting a mystery. Next.
First, there's a couple souls that I'm hearing from. Now, right away, did your mom pass? She's the first one that's here, but I also have your grandmother here that's with her. And they're both coming through together on the other side. Because they're like, no, we both have to come through, Matt. We both have to come through. And they're like fighting each other in a good way. Like it's either like I bring them both through or they're not coming through at all. So
okay, so those women, one is in her 50s and the other is her daughter in her 20s. So he says, is your mom coming through? So he's obviously talking about the woman in her 50s because she's obviously sitting right next to her and they look just like each other. So what he's done is he said, he says, your mom's coming through. And then as he sees the feedback, right, where she's nodding her head, you guys can't see it, but I could see it before. And then he says grandmother. So that this is kind of a generic thing where he didn't do a mystery. He just went ahead with what he did.
On the other side, because they're like, no, we both have to come through, Matt. We both have to come through, and they're like fighting each other in a good way. Like it's either like I bring them both through, or they're not coming through at all. So first of all, the moment I'm connecting, this is soul stepping forward to me that passed in tragedy here in this world.
Okay, So the woman on the left is in her 20s, and the woman on the right is in her 50s. Now, when Matt came on, he said, "Where are you guys from?" And they told him, I think they said Texas or Virginia. I can't remember. And Matt said, "How are you guys related, or how are you guys together?" And the woman on the left said, "This is my fiance's mother." The woman who's in their 50s. So Matt did a mystery. Okay. Did you hear that? Let me try it again. Sorry, I'm talking over this. Because it's unclear if she's going to have somebody who's if she's going to be somebody who's the woman in her 50s is going to have a parent that's died, or of course, her grandparents probably gone now.
The moment I'm connecting, this is soul stepping forward to me that passed in tragedy here in this world. And right away, they keep talking about going unconscious and losing consciousness. And they're telling me my head, my head, my head. All right, this is weird, Marissa.
Okay, so this next one is a teenager, I kid you not, and her mother, who's about 40, maybe 42, something like that. So here we go. What is he going to pick? He's not going to pick a parent necessarily. He's going to pick either a grandparent for the 40-year-old woman, or he's going to go with a mystery. So what do you think?
I have this soul that's coming through that's literally right here. I feel them, and they're telling me about they passed, but in a mysterious way. And there was questions over their passing.
Okay, so we went with a mystery. Now we have a group of 3 sisters. They're probably 31 to 39. It's hard to tell. So they're sisters. So what do you think? Is it going to be parent, grandparent, or mystery? I could play a game.
Had this soul step forward, and they showed me about passing in tragedy here in the physical world. And they keep showing about trying to be revived or brought back. So first of all, who is that to you?
So he went with a mystery, and then he asked, "Who is it to you?" Which is like, where do you get this? He doesn't even give a gender. Okay, this is a group of people that are in their 20s, and when he does a reading, nothing fits with these 3 women who are in their 20s. So a husband and a friend of the husband's have to jump in to find a way of fitting. You can see all of these readings completely in full on my YouTube channel with Matt Fraser. So if you want to watch the whole thing, you can see him. I'm just doing opening lines. So these are women in their 20s. So their parents are probably still alive. Their grandparents are probably still alive, though there might be missing 1 or 2 because there's 3 of them. I don't think they're friends. I mean, I don't think they're siblings. So what is he going to go with? Probably a mystery. Watch.
A couple souls that are stepping forward. First of all, I have this young male that's coming through that's telling me that they passed of some type of overdose here in the physical world when I'm connecting. First of all,
okay, now this is a couple. So they're in their late 30s, I think. I think that's what I say. Yeah. I think I said late 30s. Okay. Couple in their 30s. It's hard to say.
Here in the physical world when I'm connecting. First of all, there's a couple souls that are here and with you. Right away, have your grandmother here. There's a grandmother that's here that's running around like crazy on the other side, like literally trying to get my attention to tell you that she's here. Right away, she's telling me that there was like recipes that your family kept of hers here in the physical world. She's actually showing me that you did not get to say goodbye to her when she had passed away. So was she living in a different area? Did you not get to see her at the time?
Okay, so they went with grandparent. He went with grandparent. Next.
Did your mom pass here in the physical?
Now, this woman might be 30, and he blew it because he starts in with your mother. Did she pass here in the physical? And that breaks all the rules I've just been telling you. It was one of the almost last readings. He did 9 readings that night. I think this is number 8. And so I have a feeling that he was just tired and he just said it. And he meant to say grandparent, but he says mother. Now, this is the shortest reading of all the readings that Matt gives. I think he only gives a 3-minute reading to her, and everybody else got 7 to 10 minutes. So listen to this again.
Pass here in the physical?
No.
Oh, see, I'm not the best at this. Sorry, everybody. These clips.
Pass here in the physical?
No.
She's still here in this world?
Yes.
All right, I have this woman that's stepping forward with me. I could have sworn like it was your mom because she's coming through and telling me that she showed me she was super close to. She's telling me when I'm connecting with her, it felt like she passed of some type of an abdominal cancer or an abdominal blockage. That could be. I have her soul stepping forward, and then you know what's also interesting? I also have a young man that's also here with you, a young male that also passed.
Okay.
Was that like a boyfriend of yours that had departed?
No.
So there's a couple.
So that was the end of her reading. I mean, he went a little bit further, and that was the end of that. It didn't hit. And do you see what I'm saying? So he messed up by doing the, is your mother passed? And she says no. And then he questions her. She's still here in the physical? Like, I think the girl knows. Okay. I think she knows. And then he says, he's trying to double down to cover the fact that he made a mistake. He's like, oh, well, this person is stepping forward. Boy, this is really interesting. I thought it was your mom because, reasons. And then he goes into a mystery category and he says, some guy and a young guy who passed away young, is this your boyfriend? She's like, no. And so, as I said, she's trying to make it fit. You can see the whole interview. You can see the whole reading with my commentary on my channel. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it is the very shortest. Now, this one.
Souls that are actually trying to get my attention. Right away, I have a grandfather with you that had passed that's here, that's on the other side.
Okay.
That's stepping forward in spirit. And then also, I have this soul that's also coming through this, put me back in their body. And I just saw that I keep seeing this person passing of a respiratory arrest. I keep seeing somebody trying to be revived here in the physical. So who is trying to be brought back? Or I keep hearing about passing suddenly, not being able to get them back.
So she's about 35. And so she's obviously, her parents are probably still here. So he goes with a mystery, which is somebody who was brought back, and then also a grandparent. See how I'm saying? Okay. Hopefully this makes sense. We're about halfway done. Okay, so let's move on to an older categories of 40s and 50s, and let's see if what I said is making sense. Where now that he's in an older group, it's kind of a hit or miss. Remember, he can see their faces very clearly. So if they look confused or they're starting to say no, then he can quickly change tactics. But you got a group of 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. It's probably safer to go with grandparents, but you could still say parents. It's hard to say, or just go with a mystery.
And right away, the moment I'm connecting with you, there's a few souls that are here and with you. And first of all, I have your grandmother here that's stepping forward on the other side because she showed me that she's always been like a protector that's here and with you. And then also when I'm connecting, I also have a soul that's coming through that passed tragically here in the physical world. And when I'm connecting, this soul is pushing forward, trying to tell me what happened the day that they died. And more importantly, is coming through to apologize about the circumstances around their passing. And first of all, this was a young soul that had passed. So who is that to you? Okay.
Okay, so you saw that. So he went with a grandmother and he went with a mystery. And then he asked her, who is that? Now, this is a couple that are from Iceland. So the man on the left is in the black, and he is about 40. The woman on the right, she's wearing her pajamas, and she is in her 30s. So again, where are we going to go with this? Your parents are probably alive. Grandparents may or may not, or a mystery.
So first of all, there's a couple souls that I'm connecting with, but there's a soul that immediately is coming through to me and showing me how they had died. And they're showing me when I'm connecting in spirit that first of all, they keep talking about complications. And I keep seeing visions of being brought back and forth to the hospital. And then they're showing me complications associated with their passing.
So we went with a mystery. Okay. Does that make sense? Now let's go to the rest. This is going to get, I think, a little bit older people. See how it changes.
First of all, the moment I'm connecting, I got to come over to your mom. Did your dad depart here in the physical? First of all, when I'm connecting, did your...
Okay, I got to bring that back to talk about that for a second. So what you can't see on the screen really well, but I could, is the woman in red is a mother. And the man in the back, you can't see him, he's holding an infant. And this is her mother. So when they came on the screen, he asked them where you guys are from. And they told him where they're from. And Matt asked, who are these people with you? And the woman in red said, "This is my mom. That is my dad. And my dad is holding my infant baby." So the woman here in red is in her late 20s or 30s. Okay. And the woman in gray is in her 50s. Dad in the back's in his 50s too. So it's an iffy thing, right? Where are we going to go with this? Mystery, mother, parent, or grandparent? So he said mother.
When I'm connecting, I gotta come over to your mom. Did your dad depart here in the physical? First of all,
Okay, this is
when I'm connecting, did your dad pass here in the physical?
they're both in their 50s. So they went with the dad.
Yes. He's the first one stepping forward. I also have the grandmother in spirit as well, because she's like right there on the other side, saying like, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. So, oh my God, and there's also a dog that's here that just appeared that also had passed away.
Okay, now this is a married couple. Well, I don't know if they're married, but they're a couple. In other words, they're not sharing the same parents and the same grandparents. So they're in their 40s. So where are we going to go with this? Grandparent? Probably not parent or mystery.
First of all, no, there's a couple souls that are here. But first of all, did you lose your mom?
Okay, so he did the same thing he did with that other one where he said mom when they're very young. That's not a good idea.
No.
You're still here in the physical.
Yes.
There's this woman who's rushing to the front of the line that's right here, and it's telling me she was on life support before her passing. And I kept hearing about this father that's there, that's in spirit, that's on the other side, because I keep hearing, I'm the father, and this is how they come to me.
Okay, so that could be anything. I mean, so there's a father who comes to me. He didn't say it's your father. He said there's a father that comes to me. It could have been that woman's father. So he went with a grandmotherly type figure or a motherly type figure with her because he couldn't connect. Okay, let's move on to the older group.
Listen, the moment that I'm connecting, there's a couple different souls that's stepping forward. Now, first of all, did your dad depart here in this world? Yes. Know that he's stepping forward, and then right away with him, I also keep hearing of a child that passed as well.
So she's about 65. This woman, now that I think about it, the more I think about it, I think this woman we're looking at now is probably older than 65. I was being generous about her age. I think she might be closer to 70. And she was really sad because she's having all sorts of mental health, mental issues herself. And it's just sad.
Thank you.
So first of all, when I'm connecting, your dad passed here in the physical?
Okay, now these two people crack me up. And I think this is the last one I'm going to show you. These women are in their 70s, they're sisters. And right off the bat, as soon as he turns on the video, they are happy as can be. And listen to them. They're so motivated. We'll talk about it in a second.
We're so happy. Woo! We prepared his favorite dinner. We played his song.
You made his dinner tonight?
Yes, we made his favorite dinner and we played his favorite song. And we made sure we had applesauce. Applesauce, he loves it. I made sure my sister was here because you said sometimes they wait until important people are here.
Crazy. Listen, you did all the right things because he's here. Because the minute I was connecting,
Happy dad.
your dad was coming through and he's like, Matt, he's like, I gotta come through. He's like, my girls are here, I'm the dad.
All right. So on that last one, sometimes you watch these and you get something more. Gosh, I'm really look haunted here tonight, don't I? So what happens is with those two women that you saw at the end, they obviously wanted a man to come through and they're in their 70s. So could have been a spouse of one of them or a brother of one of them or a parent, because they said we wanted him to come along. We are really, we're really excited about him being here. And we had his favorite food, applesauce. We played his favorite music. So probably not a spouse because she says, I have my sister here with me. And sometimes, Matt, you say that we need the whole family together before they're ready to come through. So Matt went with father instead of going with brother. And as I said, the spouse of one of them didn't really make sense once he learned it's their siblings. And interesting enough, when the father does come through, one of the first things Matt says is, oh my gosh, he is the life of the party. He's so much fun. He's outgoing, energetic, just like his daughters, right? So they're like, yes, it's you know, they're just really fun. And they said they spent the whole week preparing for this reading because they really wanted it to for their father to come through. And Matt gives them a reading. You can find it on my channel. I get a whole reading there. I broke down each video independently and did commentary, and it's really sad that the father comes through after all this time. These two sisters are just so excited about it. And the father talks about keys, personalized keys, and not to throw away his stuff until you've looked through all the boxes to make sure that you look and see if there's anything important in there. And that he hid things around the house and didn't quite remember what he hid, but to be very careful when you look through his boxes. I kid you not. You can watch this video. So they've waited all week, maybe even longer, all excited about this, to have the dad talk about keys. That's a lot of applesauce they've been waiting for. Anyway, okay. So I'm done. I hope you found that interesting. I'm telling you, trying to figure out how to explain it to you guys without me being really great at editing and have a script and being one of those YouTubers out there that is so good at this. I'm not. It's just me, Susan Gerbic, you guys. I'm glad you're here and you're hanging out with me because it's a frustrating world we're living in right now. And people all day long send me more videos and they send me more ideas and articles, and everybody's kind of looking to say, Susan, do something. Susan, what do you think of this? Susan, can't we do something about this? This should be illegal. What are we going to do? And it's just me. You know, I have a team. I have people who are out there helping me all the time, and they're supporters and donors and all that kind of stuff. But really, when it comes down to it, and I'm sitting here at the screen, it's me. Now, I do have a bunch of really good videos I know I have coming up pretty soon from Sebastian. He sent me a whole bunch of stuff. And so I'm really looking to running through that for you, but I don't know if I'll get to it today. So look for that. That is Dave Down Under. What is his name again? David the Medium. David the Hot Reading Medium, I'm calling him. He calls himself David the Medium. David the Hot Reading Medium. Anyway, I've got a lot of stuff still to show you. But anyway, let me know if you like this format. As I get more and more of these, I want to try to make longer and longer and make more exact stuff. And maybe I'll have somebody who will do these videos for me and make them better. Now, I tried to bring in some videos that he's done for other places that are his videos, but I didn't think they fit really well. Now, when you're watching him live and you're on, and not live, but like you're watching one of his readings where he's doing a gallery reading or something like that, or anything that's on his channel, those are his videos. They're edited. One of the things that you're missing is the opening line. Now, I hear you. I hear you. You're saying, Susan, he gave an opening line to these people. He's sitting, the woman sitting in the audience, she's holding her microphone, and he gives her the opening line. And I'm here to tell you that is not the opening line. That is cut out. What you're seeing is after she got her microphone. So what Matt does, he's on stage. I've seen him perform multiple times. Is he's on stage, walking around the audience, figure out who he's going to pick, who looks receptive for him to be, who looks really like they want a motivated sitter who's going to go with whatever he says, who's going to be amenable to what he says. And he picks somebody and he makes a judgment call about them. Again, just like you saw here, somebody stepping forward, somebody who died in tragedy, somebody who's a grandparent, a parent, whatever. He says the line to them, and then they say yes or no, or they give a name or whatever like that. And then he's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And in the meantime, somebody is scuttling over to wherever that person's sitting and hands the person a microphone. And then they stand up, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, that. And then Matt comes over to him and he's focused on him now. He's like, okay, so you have the brother that had a drug problem and he died at a young age. And she's like, yes. So that's not an opening line, because Matt has already given the opening line when he was looking around for somebody. And he said, I'm getting a younger man who passed suddenly due to his own actions. And the woman says, "Oh my gosh, that's my brother Michael. Yes, he died of a drug overdose." And Matt said, "Oh my gosh." And then they read over the microphone, hand it to her, and then he repeats it back. "So you have a brother that died of a drug overdose." "Yes, oh my gosh, that's so amazing." Okay, do you guys get the difference? When the videos you see of him doing live gallery readings and some of these other videos that you see are cut so that you miss the part where he does the opening statement cold reading that I just showed you now. And it cuts to where Matt is already has that knowledge that it's her brother and he died of a drug overdose. And the woman is saying, "Oh my gosh, yes, you're right." Okay. So that's what's going on here. That is exactly what's going on. So I think I just explained psychic mediums in this overly long video to you. And in a way, I don't think anybody's ever explained this before. I don't think all the years I've been doing this, nobody has ever approached it in this way. So I really hope this made sense. And maybe I can figure out a way of being more articulate with how I explain this to you, because it's clear, crystal clear to me. I've known this for a long time, but it kind of dawned on me that you guys out there probably don't know this. And then when they're cut like this and they're rearranged by age group, I think it's very obvious. Do you guys like that? Oh, what was missing? What was missing? Not a single name, right? Not even an initial. He doesn't do names. Not at the beginning. He might throw it out later, but he never does names when he opens up like that. I don't think I've ever seen him do it. If he has, I've forgotten, but I've really been focused on these 18 readings that I've gotten recently. We have more coming up, Matt. So it's like I said, sometimes there's a gender, sometimes there's not, but there's never a name. And all of that would be cleared up if he just came up with a name, right? If he said, "I'm getting a man in spirit who's stepping forward, who died tragically." Does that make any sense to you? How does that relate to you? Well, no person ever challenges him either and says, "Well, what's his name?" No one does that. No one does that because they know their reading will be up right then and that's done. And they're motivated. So it never happens. He never gives a name. Isn't that fascinating? I bet you didn't know that. Anyway, I'm really dying to hear your comments. I'm not making this video again. I'm done. How many times can I make this video? Done. Okay. I'll only update it whenever I get new information, or if you guys say you hate it. Okay. Or if you say, "Gosh, that made sense." But let me know if it made sense right at the beginning, or do I need to get all the way to the end? And I could have cut a lot out of this. Anyway, take care, everybody.